What's up, Comicbook.com? Happy Friday. We're almost there. It's almost 5 o'clock, and it's almost the weekend. But it's 1 o'clock Eastern, which means it's time for Comic Book Now. We're going through the top 5 stories of the past 24 hours. We're going to run through them kind of quick today because yesterday I promised we'd do a bunch of questions, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So bring your questions in the comment section. We pulled a few up from Twitter. You can tweet them using hashtag CBNow. But before that, we're going to talk about some Flash movie villains. We're talking about movies headed to Netflix and TV shows. Donald Glover's talking about maybe a role in a Star Wars movie. I don't know. You might have heard about this one and his Spider-Man Homecoming role. Jason Momoa returning to Game of Thrones, probably not. And we got a special guest for our Fear the Walking Dead show, and I'm happy to announce it right here before the show's over. But let's jump into Comic Book Now, right now, all right? The Rogues are apparently going to be the villains of The Flash. Now, this is a report from my buddy Umberto Gonzalez, the scoop maestro. I got to give him credit. He's very good at getting these scoops. His spoiler game is strong. He's saying that the Rogues, the team of villains, are going to be the villains of The Flash. Now, obviously, we know Cyborg is rumored to be in this. I've heard that for a while. I think that's very true. I've heard it's almost like a team-up movie. So if Cyborg and The Flash are taking on the Rogues, that'll be interesting. For another reason, because the Rogues are kind of headed to the Flash TV show, and we know that the CW TV shows and the DC films don't usually allow villains or any characters to overlap. Obviously, The Flash is going to be an exception, but with the Suicide Squad, once they announced that they were making that movie, they said, let's take them off the show, and they blew up Mike Rowe's Deadshot because Will Smith was taking them on the big screen. So with Mirror Master and other Rogues and Magenta probably coming in to form the team on the TV shows, it's going to be interesting to see if they kind of kick them off after a while, if this turns out to be true. Next up, Netflix. Huge lineup of movies coming in September. You might say goodbye to some of your favorites. Last month I had to lose Full Metal Alchemist before I could even finish it. But Steven Spielberg fans are probably jumping up and down. Jaws, all 3 movies are coming. Saving Private Ryan, all landing on Netflix in September. 2004's Best Picture winner, Crash. Zootopia, The Imitation Game. You got Benedict Cumberbatch right there. Prepare for Doctor Strange with that one. Gotham Season 2, you can catch up on it. Blacklist Season 3. Hawaii Five-0 Season 5. Of course, New Girl Season 5. Anybody? Am I the only one? No, I'm not. And before the October 23rd premiere of The Walking Dead Season 7, you can learn about that cliffhanger everybody's been talking about with The Walking Dead Season 6. It's coming about halfway through the month. You'll be able to binge the whole show. If you just want to rewatch it, I don't blame you. I'll probably be right there with you. Next up, Donald Glover. Now, this guy does everything. He's got a TV show about rapping coming out. He wrote it himself. He's got his own album out there under the name Childish Gambino. You know him from Community. Soon you're going to know him from Spider-Man Homecoming, but you also might know him from the Star Wars franchise. Rumors are out there that he's going to play a young Lando Calrissian. Time magazine asked him directly, are you playing young Lando? Any truth to the rumors? And he just totally dodged it, which makes me think maybe they're true. The only thing he said was he's been a fan of the franchise, his dad's a huge fan of the franchise, and that it would be really cool. But that's all he said. He didn't say yes, no, or anything close to either of those answers. And he also talked about Spider-Man Homecoming, which Sony is keeping this role very, very tight-lipped. Now, could this be because it's a big role that is big, a huge reveal? It's going to be a big factor going forward in the Spider-Man universe? Or is it because it's a minor role and they just want us to get hyped about the fact that Donald Glover is in the movie? I don't know. But he said that he's been a huge Spider-Man fan, and he's very excited about this movie because it takes you back to the teenager Spider-Man, which makes you feel like a teenager when you're watching it. He has wrapped production, apparently, because the way he said it was a lot of fun to shoot, meaning past tense. It's done for him. What's his role? I don't know. My guess, the Tinkerer. Next up, Jason Momoa making a return to Game of Thrones, maybe? Probably not, but we love to speculate, obviously. He's taken to Instagram a bunch lately, and he's been sharing pictures with the team of Game of Thrones, which we know is in pre-production in Ireland. They're grabbing a few pints out there, but we all want to see Khal Drogo make a return. Is it going to be the return of a king in Season 7? Probably not, but we can hope. And finally, we have our Fear the Walking Dead guest for Sunday night's after show. After this episode, it's called Los Muertos, which is going to be a huge episode for our guest. Danae Garcia is going to join us on our The Walking Dead on ComicBook.com Facebook page. She's going to take your questions live. I'm going to, dissect her. Let's get some spoilers, right? Now, she's new to the show. She's playing Luciana. If you missed last week's episode, good time to watch it before Sunday. It's a very Nick-centric episode with some Lost-style flashbacks. I really enjoyed it. I totally suggest watching it. Sunday's episode is very good. I promise I'm not just saying that. So we'll have her live for your questions, my questions, and it'll be a good time. Join us Sunday night, and we'll share it right here on this page, but we'll be live. You'll get the notification from The Walking Dead on ComicBook.com Facebook page. Now, if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments section. I'll be reading them live. We're going to get to a few Twitter questions first. What's our first question from Twitter? Nova in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah, I might need an assist from our PA Brittany over there in case I can't read them. Is Nova going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? And I feel like I've been talking about this all week. Did I miss something about Nova? Was there some sort of Nova news that's revived these Nova rumors? Now, Nova was originally in the script for Guardians of the Galaxy 1. No word on if he's going to be in the sequel. I think he's going to come into the mix eventually in the MCU. Obviously, one of my favorite characters. But I don't think he's going to be in Guardians 2. That's a big role to cast. We know Nathan Fillion's in there on a poster, but he's not playing Nova as far as I know. He's playing Wonder Man. But I don't know if I missed something because a lot of people have been asking me about this lately. What's our next question? What do we got? Who do I think will have more ratings in the end, DC or Marvel? We're talking movies. I mean, DC's killing it on TV, but with movies, I mean, Marvel just swings and makes contact every time. DC tends to miss a couple. That's a good way to put it. A lot of pressure on DC, though, to deliver, and I think with Jeff Johns stepping in and Ben Affleck becoming an executive producer on Justice League, they are going to start doing things right. I just hope they start doing things their own way, with their own flavor, instead of almost playing catch-up and just throwing characters at the screen like they have. Because they have a great catalog of characters, and Suicide Squad was good. We saw what happens when you just have characters interact, and that's, but overall, right now, Marvel is winning. I don't know in the end. I don't know when it ends, so I can't really say. But DC definitely has some catch-up to do. Hopefully they put their own style to it instead of playing catch-up. Next up, can you help me find my kids? If they're anything like Carl, they're not in the house. Great question. Appreciate the CB Now question. Next up. What do we got? With Doctor Strange opening up the multiverse, do I think Spider-Verse is on the horizon in the MCU? I don't think it's going to be too close. I know that Sony is still planning their Venom movie, and I think that there's a few Spider-Man movies planned in the next few years, more than we know about right now. That said, I can't imagine a different universe for Spider-Man, unless maybe that's what Donald Glover's doing. Maybe Doctor Strange is going to open another dimension, and Donald Glover is going to be Miles Morales from another universe, and he'll step in. Wishful thinking? I don't know. All right, let's turn it over to some questions here from the comment section right now. Wait, Fear is back on TV since when, says Jose. Since last Sunday. You're only one episode behind. And it was a good one. It was Nick-centric. I promise it was pretty good. What about the new black suit Superman teaser picture from Henry Cavill? We're totally going to see the black suit. Now, that's not a fact. That's my speculation. But when I was on the set of Justice League, they didn't show us anything Superman. Nothing. They acted like he wasn't there, but they told us he would be. I think that's because we're going to see black suit, and they didn't want to reveal it just yet. I don't have a picture of it if that's what you were looking for, but I think it's going to happen. Are you the only person who loves Suicide Squad? Ralph Edward Perez? No, you're not. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not a great overall movie, but a lot of fun. Am I seeing any movies this weekend? I haven't seen War Dogs yet. I'm going to go see that. I heard it was pretty good. Jonah Hill, Miles Teller. Not a huge Miles Teller fan, if I'm being honest. But, I'm going to go see it anyway. How would you feel on Spider-Man teaming up with Batman? That's impossible. Never happened. The rights on that would be insane. But it would be kind of cool watching the dynamic between Bruce and Peter. I feel like Peter would drive Bruce insane. Just absolutely nuts. Bruce would lose his patience. Let's do one more question. Am I ready for college football or what? That's not going to be our last question, but I'll answer it. Hell yes, I'm ready for college football. South Carolina plays on Thursday. And Donald Glover is the Prowler, says Jerry. Okay, good theory. Have I watched Preacher? No, I can't say that I've watched Preacher. I watched the first episode, and I decided that show wasn't for me. Yeah, what we got? One last question. Who do I think died on The Walking Dead? Who got Lucille? Is this Lucille? Right there. I think it probably was either Glenn Abraham or Eugene. Just my guess. I think that all three of those characters would make a huge impact on the show, and they're all kind of checked out anyway. Abraham is totally ready to die, and he's almost set up for a happy ending with Sasha. Eugene handed over the recipe to make bullets, and Glenn would just be devastating because his pregnant wife would have to watch. So those are my choices. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. Sunday night, we're live with Danae Garcia of Fear the Walking Dead. Bring your questions. Use your hashtag CBNow to submit questions via Twitter. We'll get to as many as we can on Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. If you want to talk more, hit me up on Twitter at BrandonDavisBD. See you later, guys.